Taia manuia talafalawa American Samoa. Fafelo ayatu lau money follows who's caring. O se pokalama whaatala noanga e whaasoai manatu matala o le alofa ma le tautua I tutono si o tatua tunuu I America Samoa. O lo uingoa o Tumanu Fesilafai o le sui o le Inclusive Emergency Management Cohort, lalo o le Human Security Department I le kolisi tufatasi o America Samoa. Today we are honored to be joined by a very special guest, founder of Mealofa, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made Spectrum, an organization dedicated to raising awareness, understanding, and support for children with autism and their families in our community. We welcome Mrs. Charisma Taufete'e. Welcome, Charisma.
Good morning, sister. Good morning, American Samoa.
Morning. Ms. Taufete'e, I apologize. Mrs. Taufete'e's journey as a mother and an advocate is both powerful and inspiring, and her work continues to create space for greater compassion, education, and inclusion here in American Samoa. Mrs. Taufete'e, Fafetai Lava for being here with us today. We are truly honored to have you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, before we start, I'd like to give you the opportunity, a chance to introduce yourself and to give us a glimpse about how your journey as a mother and an advocate began.
Thank you, sister. My name is Charisma Fano-Taufete'e. I am 32 years old. I have 4 beautiful children, 3 boys and 1 girl. My oldest, Alapati Taufete'e, is currently 7, and he is the one that's on the spectrum. Sorry, what's your other question? Am I good? Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Let's just dig right in. All right. Mealofa, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made Spectrum. Such a beautiful name. What inspired the name, and how has your son inspired this journey?
Yes. So Mealofa, it was actually, it's so funny you asked. We prayed about it. So it started from me and my family, my sisters. They're such a support. That was still is my greatest support system, is my family and my husband. And so Mealofa came about, just to backtrack. So our journey began when Alapati was 2 years old. And it was my mom, my late mom, who's now with the Lord. We had breakfast. This is how it started. We had breakfast, and Alapati had Fruit Loops. It started from eating cereal. And so my mom noticed Pati organizing colors. So he was, put all the oranges on the side, red and green, and I forgot the other colors, but that's what Bati did. And on top of that, I didn't notice the signs. It was my mom. And my mom was the one that's her background, is childcare. She knows everything about childcare and, that sort of in that nature. But it was my mom, and so she told me, she noticed it, not only sorting the colors, but also lining each rice. And so it was my mom again. And so she brought it up. And she asked me, Pai, you should go talk, Pai is my other name, Pai, you should go take Pati off island to get diagnosed. He might be autistic. And this is me looking at my mom like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What is that? I knew nothing. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know what autism was, but it was my mom. And so, that's why. And then, we went off island, and just the process of accepting it was really hard for me, for someone who did not understand what autism was. So, yeah.
So beautiful, and the name just flows. And I saw your post on Facebook. It's from Psalms, if I'm correct.
Yes, Psalms 139, verse 14.
And
yes.
It's such a powerful, you took an experience and you made it into such a powerful and a very strong statement, that, autism because we don't know what it is or we don't have enough understanding.
Right.
We still have to embrace that they're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Right.
And thank you for that. So thank you to your mom. You know, I know that autism, it's such a very, not a very well-known thing, or not a lot of people understand what autism or identify the signs. And, you know, from that experience, what was your biggest challenge that you believe that you faced? And what are some of the challenges that you think that families in American Samoa have when it comes to autism awareness?
Yes, thank you, sister. The biggest challenge is, again, lack of resources. And so as a mom, I knew nothing, didn't know what autism was. I didn't know where to start. You know, the first step, I didn't even know, just finding programs available here in American Samoa. But I thank God I heard of Helping Hands, DOH Helping Hands. That was the first program that was brought to my attention because my older sister, Elizabeth, she worked with DOH before she moved off island. And so I did enroll my son in Helping Hands, and it was very helpful. You know, they helped me a lot. However, and just seeing the program, the psychologists, it's all online. The psychologists and the doctors, you talk to them through Zoom, and that's it. And then I believe there is a speech therapist available over there, and one of the workers from DOH Helping Hands, one of the representatives, and that's it. So for me, during that time, also another thing for Helping Hands, once the kid turns 3, you exit the program. And so when Pati was 2, I only had a few months, I believe, or I think a year for Pati to be in the program. Again, it was, from my experience, it's a good program, but when Pati exited, not only it was online, it's different when, I don't know, how do I say this? When you're hearing from a doctor through a device. It's to me, it was good. I'm grateful that we have that, but I guess just the way I am wired, I want to see the person face to face. And so when Pati exited the program, that transition, it was really hard. That's when I started going through all these challenges. And DOH, again, I know they tried their best, but the transition part was another challenge for me. Okay, so when Pati exited, I was like, okay, where do we go from here? Just no guidance is where I'm getting to. And so they did tell me, okay, this is what I remember vividly, they gave me a form of, sorry, excuse me. They gave me a form to special ed, SPED, DOE SPED. And so they, even also the briefing, again, I don't blame them. It wasn't clear, at least from my experience. So they just said, here you go. Pati is no longer in the program. SPED, enroll. So I was like, okay, all right, okay. So I just went with the flow. Okay, I'm gonna, even also choosing the school, like no guidance, nobody to help me navigate. Okay, this is the school. This is the program for this school. I didn't get that. And the reason why I chose Matafao, so I enrolled Pati. Long story short, I enrolled Pati. Sorry, Matafao was later on. I enrolled Pati at PHS, Pacific Horizon, when he was 3. And that didn't end well. I remember the teacher, I knew of the teacher. I remember we went to school together at Samoana. When Pati started school, I think it was August. You know how when school starts, not even, I think it was only like a few weeks, actually, and I got a call from the office. I sat in with the principal at the time, and they told me that, hey, Pati has been, biting. this kid, and it's the biting kids. And so, I went on the conversation and asked, okay, what is, and come to find out, it was the same kid. The same kid Bati's been biting, I think, more than 7 times. And hearing from the principal, okay, I'm sorry, we can't, you have to, we have to let Bati go. And it broke my heart. That's what I heard from the principal at the time. And I did ask, hey, is there anything, I want to put my son here because it's a good school. But then because of that, again, the lack of knowledge, lack of resources, even I would say there was a representative from SPED, because they also have private teachers that go out, aside from public schools. These are the private teachers, they go out to the private schools. But even that, I remember it was just, I tell you, the communication, I didn't even know who I was dealing with. They said that there's a SPED rep. I don't even know who the SPED rep is. So that kind of thing, it was hard to take that in. And also hearing from the principal, you don't have to put him in school, he's still young, he's 3, which I understand now. But then just hearing that from someone that, the boss, the principal of the school, it broke me down. And so, so I took Bati out. I think it was not even a month. It was less than 2 months. I don't remember. But when I took Bati out, I was left with, I put him in daycare. I mean, we have our daycare in Whangalu. And so I just put Bati in daycare. But even when Bati was in daycare, I still had questions running around my mind. Like, this is not right. If I'm hearing that from someone, how is it that, also just having, again, the same kid that Bati, did this, like, not even, at least someone, for me, from how I see it, okay, it's the same kid. Have you guys, there's a pattern. But anyways, I understand, lack of knowledge and understanding what it was. Nobody told me. And so, sorry, I'm going on and on.
Okay, you're fine. It's so sad and so hard. I feel it. I can only imagine being a mother myself. I can only imagine, right? And for you to feel like one door is closed, another door is not even open, and you just feel like you had no one to turn to. And I could just imagine like feeling lost, feeling alone, especially in a community where you're supposed to feel at home.
Amen.
And so props to you for being, the strong mama bear and fighting for your son. Comes to my next question so if you could change or improve one thing in the system, given the knowledge that you have now, especially here in American Samoa, in regards to awareness and autism, what would it be?
That's a good question. There's so many that I could think of. But again, going back to DOH, there are, in SPED, they do have these services, but they're all online. They're all online. And then again, that, there are challenges that comes with, online sessions, the internet, the time difference. For me, when I took my son off island, just to fast forward we went off island, got him diagnosed. It was an easy process. I tell you, quite smooth. When I got to Utah, applied for Medicaid and got benefits and all these things off island. It was, okay, here, all I did was I had to go find, this is from Medicaid, if I could recall, find a program, find a clinic in Utah and just go find a doctor, take your son. And then it will all paid by Medicaid, all paid, everything. And so I was like, wow. Took Bati in, got his diagnosis, even moving off island, people know the story, moving off island, get him diagnosed, and also the sessions. So I didn't know what I knew what therapy was, but I didn't even know what ABA therapy was. And so Pati did ABA. And so there is a person comes home, they're called RBTs. And so one of Pati's RBTs, this girl came over to our house, I believe it was twice a week or 3 times, depending on her schedule. And so she would come every week. And having that person come and talk to Pati and, therapy, I saw, I know I said it on my post immediately, but I recall the first 2 weeks, even after the first week, I saw changes in Pati. Like Pati, I think it was his tantrum. It was really bad. Really bad. I didn't know how to control him. I think at the time I did, I confess I sassed at him because I didn't understand. I was like, so yeah, ulavale. But no, it's not ulavale. It's because I don't understand how to, cater to his feelings and why he was so frustrated. It was the food. It was a lot of things. And so what would I, change in the system? We see it's the doctors online, I guess telehealth, if you want to say, if that's what it's called. I would suggest, and I've been always voicing this out with SPED, and they know my journey. When I put Pati and Matafao, they understand that, man, I've been advocating, I've been telling them, hey, even Leoainga, so grateful for DOH. Shout out to Leoainga for that support group for parents. They can do what they can do, which I understand, but there's more. And what I would change to answer your question is invest in bringing someone down here. Invest in bringing it makes a difference, because I experienced that with Pati, face to face. Someone that is, I know I did bring it up in a lot of the SPED meetings. I remember I did bring it up, and they would say because of the money, because of the finances, because they don't. I will say this because this is what I was told in the meeting. They said they tried, and nobody wants to move to Samoa. That's what I was told. I'm not lying. And so because of the pay. And so I go, okay. But what are the I remember sitting down with one of the SPED reps, and he did lay out the budgeting and mealu mai kupele SPED. And I looked at some, I was like, okay, because they would say, we have devices for I was like, my son he doesn't have an iPad. What are you guys talking about? Honestly, let's be real. Not to,
Right.
Talk bad or put the SPED down, but please don't put something on paper that I know that I've never experienced that with my son. So what iPad, what devices are you guys talking about? Because my son doesn't have any of that.
Right.
And so invest. Please bring someone down, at least one person, a therapist, a RBT, a BCBA. So somebody
qualified.
Somebody. And so it's going to make a difference, because it did for me and my son. Okay. But unfortunately, we had to come back because I lost my mom during that time. We didn't plan on coming home soon. The plan was for my mom to come up and, get to experience what I'm experiencing. Even like during that time, I would update my family, and I was like, hey, look at Pati, he's talking. Full 3-word, 4-word sentences he's talking. Because of the constant. And my sister, I just want to mention my sister, who's now going to school for this. She doesn't like it when I bring this up. I was like, hey, this is our testimony. This is the goodness of God. And that is, going back to Mealofa, to answer your question, Mealofa came it was my sisters and I. It was a family talk. We prayed when we found Jesus. Man, before I got saved, I didn't know any of this, but I now know it was already ordained by the Lord. My other sister Victoria, she worked for SPED, so it was just that connection, that circle. My older sister Elizabeth, she worked for DOH, man, more than 10 years. But when she saw my struggle, man, thank you Lord for my siblings, she moved off island to go to school for this. Wow. Because there's nobody. So I thank God that, he instilled that in my sister's heart, because she's my sister and she loves my son, and she doesn't, she saw the struggle, she saw the pain, the cries, all of that. And also on top of that, I lost my biggest supporter, which was my mom. I didn't lose her. I know she's in heaven enjoying up there, but she was my main advocate. She was my biggest supporter, Bati's biggest supporter. And she filled that in. So she moved to go to school, and I thank God, she's already a certified RBT. Can you imagine? God. And I asked her, hey, she's like, man, Pa, it is so easy. I mean, it's not easy, being away from home, but the process, it's super, super easy. But yeah, I mean, she's now a certified RBT. Again, she doesn't like it when I share this. She's like, hey, keep it on the DL. Keep it on the DL. I say, no, we need to, it's our testimony. It's not something to hide. And so, yeah, Lord willing, we're still praying for her to become a BCBA. I know there's all these terms, but yeah, so she had to move just because of this. And so, we're still praying, and we're very hopeful. We believe she is coming back, hence why we came up with this organization. And I know a lot of people know the background, but we prayed and we sought the Lord and asked God for a name. And I mean, what a better name to name our organization is Mealofa, because his word says, also the verse, Psalm 139:14, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And hats off to your sister, for having the passion, saw that there was a solution that needs to be made, and she went for it.
Yes.
And RBT, just for our listeners, is a registered behavior technician. It doesn't have a specific guideline. Like, you can go and, be a solution to our community.
Yes.
Props to your sister, and we're cheering and praying that she comes back with the certificate and all of the qualifications so
Amen.
that DOH or DOE can hire her.
Amen.
Yes. And back to Mealofa, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made Spectrum. What is your personal goal or your vision for your organization to spread out to American Samoa?
Our main goal is to, because of my testimony, I didn't have support. And our main goal is to be that support, offer that support, offer that space for families. There are, man, I know there are a lot of families who aren't able to afford to go off island, including myself. I traveled on a pass. I couldn't afford, but I had to sacrifice. For families who aren't able or not able to take their children off island, families that, if they don't have families off island, I'm, again, fortunate enough that I have a lot of families in Utah, and they were able to take me in. And so that is our goal. That is, I know, truly believe the vision is already there. I see it. I thank God he gave me not a full blueprint, because I know he would be like, girl, you need to slow down. But I see it, and I believe it's going to come to pass, because I believe, and I believe in the power of prayer. I believe that, because his word says, if you believe if you believe, anything is possible with the Lord. Amen. That's His word, and that is that push. That is our foundation, and again, our foundation is Jesus.
Right.
So yeah, so that is again our main goal is to provide that support. So Lord willing, and I know my sister's coming back. She is coming back, girl. Like, you didn't go to school finally for nothing. Okay, come back and serve your people. But she is coming back. We don't know again exactly the day and the time, but she's coming back soon. I would say less than 5 years, praying for it. But she's
Manifesting.
coming back.
Yes. Thank you so much. And that's more than anyone can ask, is that support. Because there are times where we feel down, feel lonely, and just having someone there to support.
Yes.
And very grateful for your passion, your drive to be that support for families who are going through these challenges of autism, just mainly not understanding or lack of resources.
Right. Yes.
Now to you spoke a lot about your family, and it's such a joy seeing you light up, talk about your family. But not everyone has that,
Right.
close-knitted support or family. And here in our Samoan culture, our Fa Samoa, built on love, respect, and strong family community support. But when it comes to autism, we know that there's still challenges, like understanding stigma and limited services. But through your organization, like you stated, that you're hoping to bring more awareness, support to families in our community. And I'd like to ask, how can we, as Samoans, use our culture and our values to better support and include children with autism?
Wow, that question, I guess, that's a broad question, very general question, but actually that is very important because, I love our culture. I love the Fa Samoa, our traditions. We are so blessed to be Samoans, but we know, if you know, there is that gap. There is that gap, and it's I don't know if stubborn is the right word, because I don't want to get in trouble for that, but people are stubborn to I guess it's pride in a way, not being able to open up to just navigating that. It's not because they're ulavali, because we grew up in that. We grew up to be, hey, toughen up. At least for me, I would speak on my family. I grew up not hearing my dad saying, "I love you." I never grew up in that. It's like, even fussy. I grew up in that, and I understand, and I'm so grateful for all those aulis and all those pakis and all those all those things that I've it shaped me who I am today. Truly, and so yeah, and it's opening up, I guess. It is really not the kids being ulavale. Just because they cry, just because they're frustrated doesn't mean that they are ulavale. And also, that discipline, I'm grateful for the discipline, but now times have changed. It's now we have more understanding. There's a lot of information out there that, hey, just because your kid is stimming, flapping the hands up and down, doesn't mean that you tell your son, shh, mufalalo. No, there's a reason, and there are resources available out there to teach us. Really, it's really about teaching us and understanding why the kids, why kids on the spectrum are the way they are. My sister would be she explains it very well, but they are, there are tools, there are resources out there to make us understand why they flap their hands. I didn't even know what stimming was until I came into, just navigating and doing I had to play a part too as well. But then back to our culture, opening up. opening up. It's really not about also the fussy and all of that. That doesn't work anymore, because the more you discipline, the more you fussy your kids, I know the word says, Hawaii and all of that, but that's a different kind of Hawaii. This one, because they're children, you're traumatizing them, fussy and all of this.
Yeah.
Because I can speak of, for myself, a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt, a lot of, that's why I now understand, because of my faith, because Jesus opened up my eyes to see all these things, which I'm so grateful He allowed it. Some people, they question the Lord, He allowed it so that I can run around in circles, and I can look back. Now I found the Lord, the timing, man, His timing is the perfect timing. Now I can look back, hey, now right? Now open up, voice, in love, not in arrogance. Share your testimony. Tell people that your son may be on the spectrum, but I am the healer. I'm the king of the universe. I healed your son, and I know it is God. God blessed us with all these therapists, all these people. Everybody that played a role, it was already ordained by the Lord. And that is God. And so, again, just being understanding, having compassion on our kids. Our culture can be, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. So just a lack of understanding and knowledge out there. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good reminder, awali fifi,
Yes.
say something,
Yes.
speak up, and
Yes.
and you'll never know unless you ask or talk about it.
Yes.
And hearing your testimony, hearing you talk about it, the passion in your eyes, the passion in your heart, it's breathtaking. It's very,
you, Lord. Yes.
very strong and inspiring. And if, as a parent, and as your journey as a mother, if you could speak directly to every parent who are going through what you went through, and they're listening in today, what would you want them to hear?
What would they want
What would you like them to hear?
to hear?
Yes.
Speak up. Speak up. Reach out. It doesn't. There are programs available. I didn't know that there are programs available, but speak up. Speak up. Again, what you mentioned, yes, that's I guess it's rooted in fear. Fifi because who's gonna I'm afraid that this person is gonna say this about me and my child, the culture, the matais, and no. They already had their time. Now is our time to speak up, voice. Don't be afraid, because always go back to the word. The word says, He has not given us the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and sound mind. So don't be afraid, because Jesus told us many times to not be afraid, and just trusting God. Honestly, I don't really have. We do have resources available. But again, it's all it's trusting the Lord. I know it's different with other people, but for me and my family, it's the Lord, it's God, it's Jesus. And so I'm praying it through, asking God, okay, Lord, show us what's our next step. And believe it or not, God told us to do this. I'm very careful to share this, but I have to tell people, no, God did really tell us, because if you, just a little backstory, sister, my mom was, she was a PK, and she was a prayer warrior. My grandpa was a prayer warrior, and it came down to my mom. She was a prayer warrior. We grew up in Lukaiki, but my mom would always go to all these Bible studies, and my dad didn't like it. Sorry, Dad. At the time, he didn't like it because it was, structure. No, we grew up in this local, we're gonna stay here, nothing else. And just being so contained, being in a cage, a bubble, not being able to go out. But all of that goes against the word of God. But I'm grateful. But I'm grateful for the journey. Again. Yeah, so speak up, because I did. And I know it wasn't a easy journey, but having Jesus next to me, oh man, it made everything easy for me. But yeah, speak up. Don't be afraid. Yeah. So
Thank you so much for that. And coming back to your organization, you know, with the support and everything, are there any activities or anything that your organization have started or in the process of starting? Just wanted to ask.
yes. So last year, everything happened so fast. God gave us a vision. And when he told us to do our organization, I was like, man, Lord, how? That's big. Like, who am I? Oh yeah, I don't know anybody. I mean, I know a lot of people, but
Right.
how do I start? He said, just trust me. Just go. Just do it. Just obey and do it. And so, just having that confidence and that faith in the Lord and Jesus, we did it. And here we are, going on into our second year. We started again. We're just doing awareness right now. We're starting off with awareness. Our goal is to be a nonprofit, but I guess we're taking it slow. We're not rushing.
Right.
That's the thing. We're waiting on God to what's the next step. And so I truly believe that this is where He wants us to be at, where we're at, just raising awareness, coming here on podcasts, and this is my first podcast, but so we did our walk last year. That was our first annual walk, and we did reach out to everybody. We reached out, hey, come. We have a Facebook page called Mealofa. So we started off with our walk. That was we did our walk. We also did, because April is the month of awareness. So last year we did a walk, and we also did a art exhibit. And the reason why we did an art exhibit, because my son, and I know a lot of people, a lot of kids on the spectrum, they love to draw. They're such great artists. And so we did that last year. But with the art exhibit, it was, it didn't really work in our favor, I would say. But so we just, this year we did our second annual walk. And I'm grateful that we have, a lot of people came actually last year. We had the MTLVA to support, perfect timing, with the Flag Day. And so, yeah, we had our walk, we had our art exhibit last year, but this year we only did our walk. Leoainga did their, what did they do? They did a splash. They did a water day for the kids. They also did, just last week, they did a dance, and that was so beautiful. We need more activities, because the children, I tell you, they love, especially kids on the spectrum, they love the water. Just, what is it? What's the word?
Texture or the...
They love water. They don't like, it's different with kids, but my son loves the water. So, yeah, it would be nice to have other programs come up with activities. But for now, we did our walk. Our walk is what we've been doing. So it's only been a year too, but so
Second year, but more years to
people.
come.
Yes,
More years
definitely. Yes.
And to wrap up our talk today, what is one word that you would like to leave our listeners in with a definition of autism? What is one word that you would like to let them know that this is autism, not this, but this, and just one word that comes up to your mind?
Well, Mealofa, that word in English, gifted, because they are gifts. They are not, limited. They are not, in this world. We may have the word, we would say label, because, we live on this earth, temporary world. Gifts. They are gifts. They are Mealofa, may tatutama, because they are blessings. There are many words, sisters, sorry, gifts, blessings, Mealofa. They are, fearfully, wonderfully made. They're so blessed, because these children, there are a lot of kids. I know there's another child from Whangasawa, And I saw, he also lost his mom, Sifinga Noah, the late Noah. I remember seeing his artwork, and I believe that's Tafa's nephew. Man, if you see the drawings, you would not believe that he was the one that drew that. So gifted. They're so gifted because they are our gifts.
Yes.
They are our gifts from the Lord, and He entrusted us to cater to these kids. Mm-hmm. And so God blessed me with my beautiful 4 kids. God blessed me with Alapati. Mm-hmm. He entrusted me with Alapati. Now He's like, okay, do what you're called to do. Mm-hmm. It is my calling too. I love kids. I love children. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can talk to kids, I can talk to, I was telling Kat, I love the kids at my church as well. Mm-hmm. Because they're pure. They're pure in heart. That's what the Bible says, they're gifted. And so, sorry, sister, I'm going on and on.
No, you are so perfectly fine. There's a lot, like you said, there are a lot of words, but hearing from you, an advocate, a mother, one who's actually walking in the shoes of it, that's your term. And, I could see it, that's how you perceive it. Mm. And it's very true. They're gifts, they're blessings. And Charisma, thank you so much for today. Thank you for sharing your story, your passion, your heart, your journey, your advocacy, and your strength.
Thank you.
You don't often see that, but thank you so much. And thank you for reminding us to never see the label, but see the able.
Amen.
To see the gift that these blessings have to offer to us. And it's, like you said, our job and our duty, our obligation to cater to them, to ensure that they have a safe, upbringing. And your voice not only raises awareness, but it creates understanding and compassion. And again, thank you so much for being a part of our talk today. And is there a way where we can reach you or call you, beep you, or just share with us?
Yes, we have a Facebook page called Mealofa, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made Spectrum. Also, I'm at the daycare, so this is what I do full time. You can catch me at my number, 733. Sorry, oh my goodness, 770-4450, or you can go on the Facebook page, shoot us a message, and we'll get to you. And that page is, it's not only me, my siblings, my sisters, my 2 older sisters are they're the ones who are behind the page as well. So yeah, shoot us a message, and I thank God again. I give all the glory.
Thank you.
I give all the glory and honor and praise to God, because He's the one, He's the one that told us to do this. He's the one that gives us the strength to wake up. That is a blessing, to be able to wake up.
Yes, it is.
Man, to be able to breathe, to be able to see, to be able to drive. Those, all our 5 senses, to smell, breathe in and out, and I give all the glory to the Lord, because He's the one that gives me the strength. And I would leave you with this. His word says, the joy of the Lord is our strength. And that is so true. That is so true. So,
thank you so much. And to our listeners, make sure to check us out on Facebook, Pacific Center in Human Security. Email pchs@aamsamoa.edu. Again, thank you, Charisma. We're truly grateful and blessed for your voice and your service. Faftai Lava, this is Tumanu Fesilafai, who's Carrie. Peace.